This is it then, the season finale of Season 3 of my F1 2021 Immersive Driver Career Mode with Red Bull. And there's 4 drivers in with a shot of winning the World Championship. It is going to be 100% full-length Grand Prix, 58 laps of the Albert Park circuit in Australia. A very important qualifying session coming up as well. And as you can see, myself and Lewis Hamilton on 179 points. What a comeback it has been in this second half of the season from us after a difficult first half of the season, to be honest. But we haven't finished outside of the top 5 since Britain, when we had that big incident with Fernando Alonso on the last lap. And Lewis Hamilton, in contrast, hasn't finished in the top 3 since Belgium. So he has really been hanging on over the last few Grand Prix to that championship lead. He is still leading the way on countback. And Mercedes are cheating once again. Have a look at this upgrade that they've just brought to this Grand Prix. Probably the biggest ever upgrade in a career mode from an AI team, other than maybe the AlphaTauri update from Russia to America. What an update that they've got. And they're now well ahead of the pack. We are now, in theory, the 4th quickest team. We were the quickest team 2 races ago. We're now the 4th quickest team, pretty much on par with Ferrari. McLaren are slightly ahead, Alpine are slightly ahead. Mercedes, I think they're going to be unstoppable. So what we have to hope for is a bit of a strategy error from Lewis. Looking at the engine, I have put in the least worn parts. Once we leave for qualifying, there's nothing we can really do about it. I think we're just going to have to accept that we're going to be a little bit down on power. The other option is that we stick a whole engine in and we try and go from the back with a brand new engine. I mean, that's possibly not the worst idea. We'll see how qualifying goes, of course. But, wow, this could be a World Championship winning fight. We've got to finish ahead of Lewis Hamilton in the points. Okay, here we come up to the line in Q1, and it's going to be a 121 flat, which is half a second off Lewis Hamilton for now. I think if we get within half a second of Lewis Hamilton by the end of the day, I'd be pretty happy. But we are slower than Stroll at the moment, so I am a little bit worried that we are going to be on the cusp of going out in Q1, although we are quicker than Russell, who is very much a midfield driver, so maybe Stroll's just put in a really good lap. Well, there we go, through Q1 in 13th position. Not a great lap from us, but you can see Lewis Hamilton into the 119s now. I think it's going to be incredibly tough to get anywhere near that today, but we always seem to turn it on in Q3, find that extra half second that we've not been finding at any other point in the weekend, and boy, are we going to need it today. Well, we're coming up to the line at the start of Q2. I was trying to get through on the medium tyres, but that's just not going to work. We are well off the pace. And, well, even slower than Vettel on the soft tyres, so I don't think it's going to work. I will keep pushing just to see if it is possible, but it's not looking that way at the moment. Well, here we come up to the line. A little bit of a better lap this time, and that's enough for 7th place. Again, I don't think it'll be quite good enough, but we might push on to a 3rd lap here. We have just about got enough fuel in the tank to do so. A little bit wide there. And yeah, that's well off the pace, so it'll be a bit of a risk to try and get through on these medium tyres. But just strategically, it's going to be so much better for us I mean, yeah, we're out of the top 10 now. We only do need to find a couple of tenths of a second, but I think it would be far too risky. But I might well try one more time. Because I think we could get out, put another lap in, and then get in and shove a soft tyre set on. So let's do it. Let's risk it. Well, it didn't work on the medium tyres, so we've had to come back out on the soft tyres. We're half a second up, and that's enough to go 5th at the moment, but I still don't think that's actually going to be enough to get through. If I'm honest, I think we're going to be starting 11th, but we will keep pushing. I know these are the tyres we're going to be starting on if we qualify in the top 10, but there you go. There's Daniel Ricciardo. He's gone quickest. And, well, we've already run out of road. Pierre Gasly and Tsunoda above us. We're now down to 7th. Alonso and Norris to come through. They're surely going to go above us. Hamilton goes quickest. We're down to 8th now. There we go. We're down to 9th. Alonso and Norris drop out of the top 10. We're now 10th. Is Norris going to knock us out of this qualifying session? Yes, he does, and he actually goes quickest. So we are out in Q2 of this qualifying session. Maybe it will be a blessing in disguise. Do we start on the medium tyres tomorrow? Do we even take a new engine? That is the question. But no matter what, it has been an absolute disaster today. The pace isn't there, the setup is twitchy, and we qualify in P11. Really disappointed about that. And well, I mean, thinking about it, if we take a new engine, of course, we'll probably have a bit more pace in the car. Stuff a bit less likely to go wrong. Even after the start, are we going to be down 15th, you know? But then it's losing seconds. Lewis Hamilton is probably going to be on pole. I mean, as I say, I don't think we're going to win this championship today. I think we are in a very, very tricky situation where the Mercedes are just too quick, I'm afraid. But we will try our best. We'll see what happens. But let's see. The season finale, 100% race coming up. Let's see how we get on.
The crowd are here and here in force for what is going to be a fantastic day of racing. Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn one. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Good job yesterday from Valterri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Fernando Alonso alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Daniel Ricciardo, and Perez. The captain, Russell, Vettel, and Lando Norris. Stroll, Tsunoda. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Nicholas Latifi and Ocon. Gasly, Mick Schumacher. Nikita Mazepin and Guan Yu Zhou. They've taken a grid penalty. Giovinazzi and Max Verstappen completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
There's still a chance we can win this championship, so go out there and bring back the title.
Well, I mean, I was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting to be starting in P7. I'm glad we didn't take the new engine. Verstappen starting right at the back of the grid. You know, a 79-minute Grand Prix. This is crazy. Now, what I might want to do is start on the medium tyres and have our second and third stint as soft tyre running. Yeah, if we fiddle around with that. It's apparently 2 seconds slower. But it will allow us to run a little bit further into the Grand Prix. Can we knock that stint down? Yeah, I mean, that's looking a little bit better. 22 lap first stint on the mediums. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do we revert it back to the soft tyres? Is there any way to see what everybody else is starting on? Well, every single driver is starting on soft tyres, so that would put us on a completely different strategy. But particularly at the end of the Grand Prix, that should work out nicely. What about if we were to do a soft, medium, soft run? So 16, 25, 17 on that. Yeah, I mean, that's looking pretty good. 18 laps at the end on those tyres. And it just gives us that flexibility, doesn't it? We could go for 2 medium tyre stints towards the end. I think we'll go for that. We'll start on the softs like everybody else. We'll stay with that that norm, if you like. And, you know, there's bound to be a safety car at some point. But here we go. This is it. This is the moment. Here we come then, reforming the grid for the race start. We are starting in P7. Valtteri Bottas is in pole position. He needs to win today to have any chance of winning the World Championship. Fernando Alonso in second, early championship contender, fell out of contention recently though. Lewis Hamilton, the man that we need to beat today and also finish inside the points. Leclerc, then Ricciardo, then Perez. We're 7th, Russell 8th, Vettel 9th, and I believe it is Lando Norris in 10th. But here we go, ready for the lights. Lights out, away we go here for the final time in Season 3. It's a decent start off the grid. We get a better initial getaway than Daniel Ricciardo, but there is George Russell on that inside as we take it nice and easy into the first corner. Lewis Hamilton not off to the best of starts. He's within our sights, but George Russell once again is going to have a little look, possibly down our inside here, but he's going to get boxed in by Perez, and we're able to go around the outside. There is yellow flags behind. I don't know what that's for, but we managed to maintain position through the opening sector nice and cleanly. We didn't want to risk losing our front wing in that first few corners, and now we can focus our race on catching and passing Lewis Hamilton. We're going to have to outfox him today in terms of the strategy, you feel. I don't think we're going to have the pace to pass him on track, but you never know. Our race pace this season has been pretty good. That was a terrible corner though. We need better corners than that. Well, what an exit out of that final corner. We've got a little run here on Sergio Perez. Are we going to be able to go down the inside of this first corner? We have a little look. Oh, well, a little bit of track extending, but I'm not bothered, to be honest. I was just happy to avoid a collision. We'll settle for that. I know in theory we should let them back pass, but we're going to keep going with it because we need all the help that we can get today. Well, that's what we like to see at the start of lap 6.
Our teammate by 9.3 seconds.
Fastest lap of the race. Catching Daniel Ricciardo now. Getting into a really good rhythm here. As we close in on the Honey Badger. And you can see Lewis Hamilton not too far up the road here. Well, we pull off a Daniel Ricciardo-esque move on Daniel Ricciardo. That was a huge move.
Great manoeuvre. You made it look easy.
And we had to make it. And we did make it stick. It was the first time we'd got that close. And now up into 4th. 2 places behind Hamilton now. But that's a quarter of the Grand Prix gone, pretty much. Just under. Okay, we're going to come into the pits a couple of laps early to try and get the undercut on these guys ahead. We need to try something different. Valtteri Bottas is also into the pit lane, so we're following his strategy. And we are in. And at the very least we're going to hold him up a little bit as well. So here we go. We're away. 2.5 seconds. Excellent pit stop. And where are we going to slot back in? We're going to slot back in behind our teammate Max Verstappen. We're in some nice clear air. So here we go.
Only 1 stop to go. 1 stop left in this strategy.
And Bottas has come in and put on the soft tyres, so he's going to massively undercut them, you feel. We, on the other hand, well, hopefully we'll be able to at least undercut Hamilton and Leclerc. I assume Hamilton will be coming in this lap, maybe Charles Leclerc as well. But we need to be on the top of our game. Well, here we go then. There's Charles Leclerc coming out of the pit lane. And we have managed to undercut Charles Leclerc. Oh no, that was Sergio Perez, sorry. That was Sergio Perez. So we're about the same distance behind Perez as we were, ahead of Perez as we were before. This is Lewis Hamilton right ahead. So he's come out just ahead of us. I feel like if he'd stayed out one more lap, we might have had him. But now he's on the soft tyres. Surely he's going to pull away from us. But this is where our alternate strategy has got to work now, because we've got to stay within catchable distance, and that's not going to help. Well, here we go. There's Charles Leclerc just come out of the pit lane. We haven't got DRS, unfortunately. But we are right behind him with warm tyres. The problem is he's got soft tyres, so this undercut strategy may well not have worked this time, unfortunately. Well, lap 22 of this Grand Prix. And Lando Norris behind us has been continually trying to overtake us, and we're now over 5 seconds behind Leclerc and Hamilton, even though we were within a second in the first stint. I think we may have made a mistake by choosing the medium tyres for our second stint, going that alternate strategy, but maybe it will play into our hands a little bit later on when we've got a little bit more tyre grip to play with. We are kind of hoping for a safety car in this strategy so that we get closed up, and all of this pulling away nonsense that these cars are going through will be nullified, but there's obviously no guarantee of that. But at the moment, Lewis Hamilton is going to be winning his 9th World Championship. Or 10th World Championship, sorry. And we are going to be left in 2nd place.
Green flag. Green flag. We're racing again.
Well, we have a yellow flag. I think Sergio Perez is out of this Grand Prix, and his season is over. And that has built us a big gap now to the McLarens behind. That has really, really helped. Or has he just come into the pits? Maybe he's just come into the pits. No, he is out of the Grand Prix. Is there going to be a safety car? It would be very, very good if we could have a safety car in the next few laps, just to close everything up again. This is starting to get to the phase of the stint where our tyres should be in better shape than the guys around us on the soft tyres. So that's what we have to go for. Well, we're coming into the pits. Safety car is out. Hard tyres on. We're going to try and go to the end of the Grand Prix on these tyres. I feel like we have to try something different now. Ricciardo's come in and put the mediums on.
Complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
I'm hoping that this will just give us the best possible opportunity to win this World Championship.
Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
So Fernando Alonso out of the race. Safety car came straight out. It was an engine failure for Fernando Alonso. And now we've come in, we've put on the hard tyres, and much like in Season 1, we're hoping that this will now propel us to the front of the grid. We don't have to pit again. We're probably the only car out there that is the case for. Now, will the Mercedes cars come into the pit lane? It doesn't look like they are doing so. We will catch up to that little group. They're on the soft tyres still. And yeah, I think that this is going to be our best chance. Trying to hang on to it. Try and be in front of Hamilton. Make him pass us on the track to win this World Championship. That's what we got to go for now. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if people started coming into the pits towards the end of this safety car stint. Because we are, you know, not far away from the pit window. But yeah, we are going to be going 30 laps on these hard tyres. And you know, I think my idea is if there's a late safety car and we're in the right place, we can jump in, we can get the soft tyres on and still have that advantage. But this should get us track position at some point in this Grand Prix. And at least we will be fighting for the World Championship then, because where we were 9 seconds behind Lewis on track. I wasn't sure I had the pace to catch that up in the final stint. Now obviously, if we'd stayed out there, we would have closed right behind Charles Leclerc on, in theory, a less worn tyre. Maybe we could have passed them both on track there and still had our original strategy, but I think it's worth the risk, in my opinion. It is worth it. So here we are, closing in on the guys in front. So we've got to keep these tyres up to a good temperature as we hit the halfway mark of this Grand Prix. And we've got to just believe now. But the Mercedes are 1 and 2, which could throw a spanner in the works, because Fernando Alonso was kind of a cork in the bottle of leading this Grand Prix and holding up Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton. Now, will they just waltz off into the distance? That's the big question. But we are going to feel a bit of pain in these opening laps on this hard tyre. Daniel Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda behind as well on the medium tyres. They're going to see a big advantage over us as well. And maybe they won't be pitting again, but it will be a long stint for them on the medium tyres. I think the hards can do it. It's just whether we can have the pace. It's a risky strategy, but one that I feel we had to take.
Overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
The safety car in this lap. It's a big one. It really is a huge moment now in this Grand Prix, this restart. We have got one set of new soft tyres that we can use if we do need later in the Grand Prix. We need to get these tyres up to temperature. We need to get the brakes sorted. We need to just be ready to go as soon as those green flags and green lights shine. George Russell is ahead, so we can hopefully get past these corks in the bottle very quickly. So here we go, ready for the resumption of this Australian Grand Prix, and it is lights out once again, and away we go for the Australian Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas leading this race with Lewis Hamilton in second. We are currently down in 8th place, needing to finish ahead of Lewis Hamilton in this championship, but we are on the hard tyres now after the safety car came out, and we do not need to pit, so we just need to stay within 20 seconds of Lewis Hamilton, who I really do think will be coming into the pits in the next couple of laps, so this is a crucial time in this Grand Prix. Well, there we go, Bottas in the pit lane. We've got a chance on Max Verstappen, our teammate here. He's down the inside, way around the outside, and we're through on these hard tyres. All of a sudden, they were switched on in that final sector. And there you go, Bottas now long way behind. And Hamilton has to now make that clear air pay, or we're going to be in pole position for the championship. Lewis Hamilton has been into the pit lane, so we are now officially ahead of him on track. He's got to make up this time. That was a great move on Sebastian Vettel, by the way. So these hard tyres suddenly starting to work for us. And now we are provisionally first in the championship. Charles Leclerc currently leading this race, but he's going to be coming into the pits anytime now. Probably this lap, maybe next lap. And he's going to be well down with Lewis Hamilton, and they're going to be stuck in traffic very soon. Well, here the folks come into the pits, and we are now going to take over the lead of this Grand Prix.
Very well done. Let's hold on to this now. First place.
And coming into the pits, getting those hard tyres on is looking like a stroke of genius right now. The people that could be a thorn in our side are Gasly and Tsunoda, who are on the medium tyres.
We've been informed that the safety car is out. There appears to have been an issue with multiple stopped vehicles on the track.
Well, absolute disaster. I don't know what's happened to our teammate Max Verstappen, but he has come out. He's gone into the back of George Russell, I think that is, and now he's brought out the safety car. So Max Verstappen is not going to be winning this World Championship, but equally he might have signed our death warrant in this championship as well, because that is going to massively reduce the gap now between ourselves and Lewis Hamilton. Well, this is a disaster, to be honest. It is an absolute unmitigated disaster. Oh no.
Max is out the race. Has reached the pit lane.
Well, safety car in this lap. We got to get a really good start, haven't we? We now become the safety car. Make sure these tyres are perfectly up to temperature. Make sure that when we go for it, we do not catch the safety car. So here we go. We are back underway here in Australia once again for the Australian Grand Prix. And that's a pretty decent restart.
Okay, clear.
But Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas only a couple of seconds behind us now. Not having to fight their way through the traffic. Not having to make up that 20 seconds that we'd gained on them by coming into the pits a bit earlier. A little bit wide there. That's certainly not going to help. So we are massively under pressure now. We are under it. We've got to hold on for 21 laps in this Grand Prix to win our first World Championship. Well, it's crazy to say, but we're on lap 39. We're out of the 1 second window to Tsunoda behind. This is going pretty well, to be honest with you. These hard tyres seem like an excellent race tyre. You know, we were managing to make some on-track overtakes before the safety car, including on our teammate Max Verstappen. But, you know, we've still got 20 laps to go pretty much. We gotta nurse these to the end, but these tyres should be in better shape than the medium tyres come the end of this Grand Prix. We might be able to do this. Well, this is quite unbelievable. A purple final sector. We are absolutely flying on these hard tyres. We're gaining time on Yuki Tsunoda, and him and Gasly are going to be a great cork in the bottle, I think, to try and keep Hamilton behind. Hamilton currently 6th at the moment behind Valtteri Bottas, so he's going to have to make 5 on-track manoeuvres to win this World Championship at this point. Pierre Gasly has come into the pit lane, so that is one of the corks in our bottle that has now been extinguished. It's been took out, and that means to me maybe Yuki Tsunoda will be coming in at some point as well. But we're now on lap 43 of 58. We are still building a gap behind, still setting personal best sectors. The tyres are feeling wonderful. The car's feeling fantastic. The best it's felt all weekend. And it's amazing, isn't it? Once you're in the clear air, you feel like you've made the right strategy call. It's amazing what can happen. So, lap 44 and Tsunoda has just come into the pit lane. So, Daniel Ricciardo, in his final ever Grand Prix on this game, is in 2nd place. Will he be able to catch us like Tsunoda and Gasly weren't able to? He's already gained a couple of tenths in the first sector. So this is interesting now because those slower AlphaTauri cars are out of the way. Safety car again!
We need you to reduce your pace. It looks like there's a high amount of debris on the track.
Well, this is an absolute disaster for us. I don't know what has happened. I don't know who's out of the Grand Prix, if anyone. No idea what's going on out there. Oh, it looks like something has happened maybe between these two. Has it? I don't really know. Maybe not. But yeah, safety car straight out. Yeah, no idea. Doesn't seem to be anybody out there without a front wing. I have no concept of why there was a safety car there. But what it has done has meant that our gap is now extinguished. That hard work for those 5 laps or so in clear air is done for. It's gone away. I mean, we could take the ultimate risk of switching onto a new set of soft tyres now and try to force our way through the field right at the end of this Grand Prix, but I don't think that's a wise decision. I don't know whether other people will though.
Drop your speed, our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace
I think
immediately.
we're okay. I was worried we were going to get a penalty there, but I think we're okay. So there is the safety car.
We're coming up to the safety car now. Do not pass it. You are the leader. Follow the safety car.
So once again, we are taking the lead behind the safety car. We will probably have about 12 laps to go at the end of this Grand Prix once the safety car's gone in. And Lewis Hamilton once again will be about 2 seconds behind, but this time I've got much faster cars behind me that are able to possibly utilise those medium tyres a lot better than the likes of Tsunoda and Gasly were able to. Leclerc could be the key player here. I think we can stay in front of Leclerc. And remember, all we have to do is beat Lewis Hamilton and finish inside the points. There's nothing else we have to do. So it is going to be a crazy run to the finish now.
Inspect the delta until the safety car is in the pit lane.
So safety car in this lap once again, and we are getting ready to rock and roll and try and win this World Championship. We're going to have 12 laps of this Australian Grand Prix to hang on, try and win this World Championship. So here we go. Once again, we get underway here in Australia. We got Daniel Ricciardo in his final ever Grand Prix behind us before he retires. And we are underway. And again, it's a decent restart. It's not bad at all.
Green flag.
So here we go. And I'm just hoping that we can maintain that pace that we had just before the safety car, because we were really in the rhythm. Are they going to have the tyres behind to be able to compete with us? That's the question. Well, there goes Daniel Ricciardo having a look round our outside. We're going to try and hold it down the inside, and we managed to do that just about. Valtteri Bottas will be right on the back of Ricciardo now. We made a big mistake coming out of the first sector, and that could have been an absolute disaster, but we managed to stay ahead, and that is probably our most important move of our career so far, because I think if we fall behind Daniel Ricciardo, it will become an uphill struggle. And well, Leclerc has passed Valtteri Bottas now, so Bottas is ahead of Hamilton. Obviously Bottas can still win this World Championship, so there'll certainly be no team orders from Mercedes. And well, who's coming into the pits? Well, nobody, but they're 2.5 seconds behind. What has happened here? Hamilton now ahead of Charles Leclerc. They're going side by side into the first corner. Risky for Hamilton, but it looks like Leclerc is still ahead, which helps us. But our tyres are starting to feel it, so surely the guys on mediums are going to be feeling it as well. Well, with 8 laps to go, we are now out of the 1 second window of Daniel Ricciardo, which obviously gives Bottas a chance to pass him, but Hamilton's still in 5th at the moment. We're still hanging on. That's the big thing here. Well, here we come then on the final 5 laps of this Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc is just behind us. It looks like Daniel Ricciardo has just come into the pits. I don't know if his tyres have dropped off enough for him to need to come in now. But it is Charles Leclerc right behind us. But with 5 laps to go, we are currently in pole position for the World Championship. Can we hold on? That's going to be the big question. Our tyres are feeling pretty good. I don't feel like we're really lacking in grip or speed. You know, we're doing pretty well, but Charles Leclerc is about 2 tenths behind us here, so he has got a pretty decent run on us, and you know, in the DRS zones he is going to be able to get pretty close, so it's really important that we get ourselves a good exit from every corner. Straight away we've survived another lap. We will have 4 laps to go after this. Just got to make sure every braking point is absolutely spot on. Pretty good final corner. Pulling away from him on the pit straight, and there you go. That's actually a slightly quicker lap time than we've managed all day, which is nice. Good first corner. Bottas is the car behind Charles Leclerc, so Lewis Hamilton still having to make 2 on-track overtakes to get to be behind us. So, you know, in theory, we can let Leclerc and Bottas past us, but we're certainly not planning on that. We want to win this World Championship by winning this Grand Prix. Starting to get very nervous now, though. We know one mistake could be the difference, and that's not a very good exit. So here comes Charles Leclerc. He's going to have a little look. He's got DRS. But we go down the inside. Very fortunate there. We just about got out of the way of his rear wing. And we are back into the lead of this Australian Grand Prix as we come on to 3 laps to go. Hamilton and Bottas are battling it out behind as well, but Bottas has dropped out of the 1 second window to Charles Leclerc. I think that's possibly down to what's happened between ourselves and Charles. Yeah, 3 laps to go here. Just got to keep it in the confines of the track. We have had our 2 warnings as well for track extending, so we can't afford that. That would cost us the World Championship at this stage, so we've got to be slightly careful about that. Here he comes again. He is closing in, but it is just so difficult to overtake around here. He's not getting close enough to do it, but well, Leclerc round our outside again. Oh, we managed to just about hold him off, but he is looking like he is going to pass us very, very soon. He's looking very racy out there, our former teammate. And here we come then, up to the line, but Leclerc comes in. Wow, maybe he made a little bit of contact with us then. Oh, that is a big shame for us, and look at that, we make a big mistake in that corner, and Bottas now is right behind us. Well, 3rd sector, Bottas has dropped off a little bit. Must have got a better exit through turn 11. And now we've literally got 1 lap to go to become world champion. We can afford Bottas passing us. Not Lewis Hamilton though, so here we come on to the final lap of Season 3. The final lap of the championship. Got to make sure that we keep all 4 wheels on the circuit. We can't afford a penalty at this stage. We just gotta keep it tight. My heart is absolutely thumping in my chest right now. Bottas having a little look. We can't afford any contact. Oh. Well, well, well.
We think the underbodies incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious. There's been a...
I think we've got to flashback that, because what has just happened? We've been given a penalty for a collision with Giovinazzi. I mean, Bottas has gone off. I mean, what's happened to Lewis? Is Lewis stuck? I mean, maybe he is. Maybe we can get away with it.
Okay, clear.
Well, Giovinazzi's out. And Hamilton is dropping down the order. Well, I think we're going to end up winning this World Championship, but in controversial fashion right at the end there. It was a contact with Bottas. We've been given a 5-second penalty. Bottas is going to win the Grand Prix. Crazily enough, if we had DNF'd there, he could have went on and won this race. Is Bottas going to come round? He has come round. He is going to win the Grand Prix. All we've got to do now is get it round the final corner. Here we go. Look at this. Bottas wins. We're going to come round in second and we're going to win the World Championship. Unbelievable.
Fantastic drive, and it means your driver's world champion. What a result. Enjoy it.
Well, I mean, what an anticlimax. After that 100% race,
so the
Bottas making
celebrations begin, and well
that
earned
contact.
they are
But look
indeed.
at that.
It may have
We
looked
do
simple
win
at
it.
times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. Victory today then, but bittersweet emotions I'm sure, as the championship slips through their fingers. Even so, what a fantastic final race of the season this was.
I mean, I think they will win the Constructors is the
Talk to
big
me,
thing.
Alex. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, you know what they say, to finish first you have to finish. And that fact was clear today, with lots of retirements having a big effect on the outcome of the race. As a driver, you tend to keep reliability concerns to the back of your mind and just focus on what's in front of you. But for the teams, races like this can be very stressful.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
Well, I mean, I just can't believe what has happened here. And I'm really hoping that they've got that on the highlights reel so we can have a good close look at it. Because that was... It felt like a big move from Bottas to be making on the final lap, and with the championship at
The captain takes
stake,
over the lead
but
of
there
the
you
Drivers'
go.
Championship.
Hamilton
let's
doesn't
discuss,
even-
Ants,
well,
who would
Hamilton
you say
finishes
is a
8th.
contender for Driver of the Day?
I think for Driver of the Day, I'd probably pick Lando Norris. He lived up to every inch of his reputation today, and I think he'll be going home, quite rightly, a bit proud of himself.
The Constructors' Championship may be a foregone conclusion at the moment, but regardless, let's look at the standings. It's another clear win for Mercedes,
Mercedes
as they
win
managed
it.
to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance
By 6
for the whole
points. If
team.
we'd won that
Meanwhile,
race,
good
we would have
work
done
from
it.
Aston Martin this weekend,
Although
who
Hamilton
pushed
wouldn't have
themselves
finished 8th,
further
to
up
be
the
fair.
order.
But there you go,
Well,
we
Ants,
win
an end
it.
to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
I mean, it has to be the craziest end to a season. Lewis Hamilton threw it away, really. Our consistency at the end of the season was what got it. But let's have a little look at the highlights package and see what we can see. We're just going to scroll through all of the race. It was very important early on to make that move on George Russell. Keep it going. And you can see Lando Norris coming up to us there. Pretty good. Oh, wow. I didn't see this earlier in the race. Lando Norris. Oh, he tried to go down our inside and spun round. Well, I mean, yeah, I didn't notice that at the time. There's us coming in on Sebastian Vettel, I think that was, on the hard tyres. And this was, you know, this was the phase of the race. I really thought things were going well. There was Charles Leclerc, and this was the very near miss that we had, because look at that. If he broke a second earlier, we'd have went into the back of him, but it turned out to be a good move. And then it looked like Bottas went for a move on him. But this is lap 56. Oh, he went down the inside. Yeah, made a little bit of contact with his front wing. He had to come into the pits. Lap 58. There, this is the big moment. Yeah, Bottas gets a bit on the grass. Oh, well. Oh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Whose fault is that? Let's have a little look as we come towards the corner. He thrashes to the outside. We're just sticking it. I mean, he goes onto the grass. I wouldn't say that that's us forcing him onto the grass. He goes onto the grass, and it looks like he sort of turns off the grass. If you really slow it down. Yeah, he turns off the grass into us, and that is what locks our wheels together. We try and get round the corner, but he's still there. He sends us spinning. Somehow he didn't get a penalty for that. We go round, and then you can see those guys go into us, and we're on the gravel, and there's a big pile up at that corner, and then we come round the final corner to win the World Championship. But that, it just doesn't seem right to me. It really doesn't. But well, there it is. There it is. What a shame. What a shame that it had to end that way. It really is a big pity. But yeah, let's head into Parc Fermé now and have our interview as a world champion.
Congratulations, you must be thrilled. You're leading the championship. Are you happy to be there or feeling the pressure?
How does it feel to be this year's Formula One champion?
You're surpassing all expectations.
How do you feel about this team's performance this season?
And there you go.
Appreciate your time.
There's the interview. Not a lot to it, unfortunately. Only one question about winning the World Championship. But there you go. World Champion Gold Trophy. And we beat Lewis Hamilton in the rivalry as well. So we win that acclaim, which is awesome. And crazily enough, we don't gain that much acclaim for winning the championship. But that is crazy. And we are about to have a look at contracts for Season 4 of this career mode. If you guys want it, that is, of course. So we do have a possible... Well, we've unlocked a helmet, apparently. Oh, that one's quite nice. Nothing else in there. But what we... Oh, victory radio call. What have we got? How do I...
Okay, somebody want to tell me how to stop this thing? That's a wrap, folks!
Yeah, really weird, aren't they? Locked items.
To whom it may concern, have that. Woo! Yes, 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 guys, yes! Come on, boys! Woo! 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 Shoeies all round!
Weird. Lots of them are very, very strange. What we can do, though, is now change our number, I think, to number 1. Or at least next season we can do, and that'll be awesome if we can do that. But what a season Season 3 has been in Lewis Hamilton, continuing and not finishing the top 5 in virtually all of the second half of the season, and that's what has led to us winning this World Championship. I still can't believe I'm saying that. But yeah, it was an interesting end to the Grand Prix, and I do feel bad for Lewis. I think we would have beaten him on track had it not been for Bottas. So, you know, I don't feel bad in that aspect, but of course that wasn't the way I wanted to win the World Championship. After we called the strategy perfect at the end of the day, and it was on lap 58 of the Grand Prix that it all went wrong, unfortunately. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We have managed to come out on top. So let's see what sort of upgrades we can get towards the end of this season. I've got absolutely no concept of where we're going to be up to with it all. But
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control. We'll need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
So you can see we've gone back up to second in the performance rankings. Still a little bit behind Mercedes, so that would be a really tough job to retain the title if we were going against them. Obviously, Daniel Ricciardo has retired now as well, so that'll be interesting to see who takes over there. McLaren currently don't have a second driver. Maybe we could go there, try and win a World Championship there, but that's what I'm going to leave up to you guys. I'm going to do a poll on the community page in a few days. We'll have probably about a week off from F1 content for now, but do you want me to do a Season 4 on this game? Do you want me to start a My Team career? Do you want me to do one of the real-time seasons on this? I mean, if we have a look at that, I still don't really know how that works, whether we do it with our own driver or whether it's something completely separate, like a bit like 2015. Who knows? If we have a little look, go into career, single player career, create new. So I guess as a driver, skip to F1. There you go. Real season start. So yeah, it looks like we can pick any of these. Do we take over one of their results? I mean, I assume we can't do Imola. This race is not yet available as a starting point. So we could replace Lewis. I don't think we'd want to do that. But yeah, if I just click that, what would happen?
First things first, let's create your driver.
Let's just
And
advance.
now, let's focus on your driver's look. Great.
Let's just see what happens.
That's everything we need.
So round 15 of 19, do we just take over? And start with no points, or do we take his points? Yeah, we do. We take his points, interestingly enough. Look at the engines. That's very interesting. I wonder if that's, reflective of real life in a way. Maybe not. Who knows? But you can see the season results. So that's an interesting feature. I don't think we really want to do that. It's just sort of taking over where we are in real life, and what's the fun in that? But anyway, that's where we'll leave it for today. So if you have enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up down below, subscribe for more F1 content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.